Hello everyone, I'm Walker Stutz and welcome to the third episode of SUTV Overtime. This week's episode will contain a recap of the NCAA winning field hockey team, amongst other accomplishments made last semester. We also got the chance to speak with former goalie Emma Albee on her experience with the team over the last 5 years. We'll get into that in just a moment. The Raiders field hockey team had a very successful 2025 season, finishing with a 20-3 record. This is also the first season for head coach Rael Wallace, who led the Raiders to a title in her opening campaign. Field hockey won the 2025 PSAC championship over undefeated number 1 seed Kutztown. Throughout the tournament, the Raiders beat all 3 teams they had lost to in the regular season matchups. Junior Hannah White earned PSAC championship's most valuable player. This is only Shippensburg's 4th PSAC championship title and first time winning it back-to-back seasons. The team went on to win their 6th title in the last 9 years. The championship game took place November 23rd as they took on Newberry for a chance at another title. The game tied at 2 until they headed to overtime. The overtime period was intense, but 2 minutes and 11 seconds into the period, Kelly Nadia scored the golden goal to give the Raiders another national championship. The team went on to be invited to the state capitol to be recognized for their accomplishments as a guest of Senator Greg Rothman. Now, for that interview, Samantha O'Connor got the chance to sit down with goalkeeper Emma Albee to hear her experience with the team over the last 5 years she has been with the program. Let's see it.
Hi everyone, I'm Samantha O'Connor and I'm here with field hockey goalkeeper Emma Albee. Thanks for being here. How's your day going so far?
It's going great. I'm really happy to be here.
Alrighty, let's get right into it. So, what was it like as a freshman having a redshirt season, but also experiencing a team that had won the PSAC and NCAA championships?
Yeah, it definitely gave me a lot of experience and kind of growth kind of behind the scenes, and just to be able to watch like everyone in those roles. You know, being a redshirt means you don't play in games, so practice is kind of your game. So really putting in the time at practice to prepare everyone else who was going to be on the field. But seeing that, you know, we had won the PSAC and the Natties, it really gave me a lot of confidence as a player, and knowing like one day that I'll be able to be on the field during that, hopefully. And also just experience as a hockey player in general. Mm-hmm.
Talking about the experience, you guys made it to the NCAA championship semifinals in 2023 and 2024. So what was it like getting to experience a team that won in 2021, but also those semifinals?
Yeah, I think it was really tough losing in those 2 games, those 2 years. You know, we wished that we would win every year, but the losses kind of teach you a lot more than sometimes the wins do. Mm-hmm. So just being able to, you know, learn from them, you know, soak in that feeling of like the loss. I don't think I've experienced, you know, losing a game like that, how heavy that feels. So letting that soak in and knowing that we don't want to feel that way anymore. We want to be hoisting the trophy above our heads. So kind of using that as motivation as well.
And you decided to stick around for your master's degree here. Did you take any of that experience into coming in for this last year that you have with us?
Yeah, I think it has definitely given me a big opportunity to step up in a leadership role, especially with having a coaching change and being a 5th-year grad student. I have kind of experienced it all, and I was kind of like the oldest one there. So kind of stepping up in a leadership role was something that I kind of took head on for myself, kind of beyond just, you know, playing on the field.
Mm-hmm. And you're a student athlete going into your master's degree, obviously. What's that workload like for being a grad student and also a student athlete?
I think it's a lot of just, you know, prioritizing your time, being able to know when you're at hockey, it's hockey time, and when you're not at hockey, that's when you get all your other stuff done. I've always been kind of good at prioritizing my stuff and compartmentalizing. When I'm at hockey, I'm focusing on just hockey. And then outside of that, that's when I kind of, am able to do a little bit more of my school and stuff.
And you mentioned the coaching change with Tara Zollinger leaving. What was that like with that coaching change, and how did it change, if anything, how you approached your final year?
Yeah, I think it was really tough. Being coached under her for 4 years was amazing. She's such a talented coach who knows so much about hockey. But that's kind of how the coaching world works. You don't stay in one spot forever. So, as much as it sucks that she had to leave during my final year, we were kind of very excited as a team to have a new opportunity. Obviously, we had won the national championship since my freshman year. So, change we looked at it in a positive, that, maybe we needed change. We were getting a little too comfortable in our ways, and having a different approach, a different coach, different tactics, all that sort of thing, really helped kind of change it into a positive. And, hopefully, and it did work out for us. But yeah, it was a tough time, but we definitely, changed it and spun it into a positive direction.
So you would agree that the mindset changed, but in a more positive way. You guys took it as you weren't trying to just, become a whole new team. You took what you've learned and just changed your mindset a little bit, right?
Yeah, and we stuck together. That was the biggest thing, was we all stuck together. Having coaches leave, people also leave as well, but we kind of stuck together. We had the smallest team that we've had since I've been here, which is really tiny for hockey, but we all stuck together, and we knew that if we put our minds to it, we could do what we wanted. So yeah, there was a small mindset change, and at first it definitely wasn't easy to get, everyone kind of back on board in the same direction, but eventually we did, and, we found success through that.
Well, obviously you guys have mentioned the success and the hard work has paid off this season, as you earned another PSA championship, an NCAA championship. You personally got PSAC honors awards. You were second in the nation, first in the PSAC in save percentage. You were breaking school records left and right, it felt like, for shutouts and a lot of other different records. Which award, I know that we listed a lot, but which award means the most to you personally?
I think I've gotten a lot of awards, and, we've always kind of talked to them about, or talked as a team, that all personal awards are team awards. The one that means the most, I don't know. I don't really look at the awards and kind of, display those. I think more about the relationships I built with my teammates and kind of the lessons learned. I think breaking the school record in shutouts is pretty cool. So I guess that could be my favorite. But yeah, I think more importantly to me, it's the relationships I build with my teammates and kind of the lessons I learned beyond hockey, because there are so many life lessons kind of throughout being a student athlete that you don't even think about.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna shift your attention over here. So. Back to that day, what were the emotions like, and how did it feel to be once again a NCAA champion?
I think, I got goosebumps watching that. Haven't really watched it back a lot, but it means a lot to me. And, seeing that, I just am filled with so much joy, and just, I'm so proud of the team, because we had gone through so much in the spring, and we had a small team, and, everyone was kind of looking against us, and we didn't care about that. We knew that deep down we could do it. And, we had haters, we had people not believing in us, but we believed in ourselves. And so to finally come out with both the PSAC and the Natty trophies is just incredible and amazing.
And shifting focus from necessarily the championship and everything, going back to coming into Shippensburg, what exactly made you choose Shippensburg?
If I'm gonna be honest, hockey made me choose Shippensburg. The championship program, the program thrives year after year on excellence, and the program holds everyone to the highest standards. And they're just a championship program, and that's something I wanted to be a part of. So yeah, that's why I chose it.
And you wear number 99. Does that have any significance to you? Was it just a random pick?
Yeah, that was just randomly handed to me. It was the only number for me. I probably wouldn't have picked it if I had another choice. But I did have a choice to change my number for my last year. I didn't because I was like, 99's lucky now. I like it. So yeah, it didn't mean anything, but now I kind of, really like the number, and it means a lot to me.
So how exactly did you get into field hockey?
Yeah, so I actually technically started in 7th and 8th grade. I didn't make the middle school team either year. I've just been an athlete all my life, so that's kind of why I tried field hockey. And then I actually became a goalie my sophomore year of high school, so pretty late. And it wasn't kind of by choice. My high school coach had asked me if I wanted to, and she was like, you'll make the varsity team if you want to. And I was like, oh yeah, sign me up, sure. So that's how I kind of got into it, but I do really, I'm so grateful that I stuck with it and, decided to play in college.
And speaking of, now you're coming to an end of your collegiate career, what exactly is next for you?
So I'm not completely sure, but I am looking into coaching college hockey. So I've got some interviews lined up, which I'm really excited about. And I just want to give back to the sport that's given me so much. And I'm not really ready to let go of it yet. So I think, kind of moving into the coaching role would be a good fit for me to start out for a few years.
It sounds like a great plan. Speaking of some more family life, you have 4 brothers and 4 sisters, and coming from someone that has 2 older brothers, I know it gets competitive for our household. I'm sure that it got a little crazy for you guys. Did your siblings help with how competitive you are on the field?
Yeah, so my family is huge, but I do have, I grew up with 2 brothers living in the same house as me. All the other ones are a lot older, but just growing up with brothers, I feel like you're built differently. You're a lot tougher. They throw you around. But yeah, my brothers definitely have toughened me up. I have a twin brother, so he definitely, we used to go at it back in the day and fight. So I think that toughened me up and just made me competitive. But yeah, they have been really helpful. During COVID, they would shoot balls on me in the backyard. But yeah, definitely growing up with a lot of siblings has help with my competitiveness and toughen me up a little bit.
Yep. And you mentioned earlier that you've been an athlete pretty much your whole life. You played lacrosse and basketball in high school. Sorry. Would you say that those two really impacted how you turned out to be a field hockey player?
Yeah, I think all great athletes and student athletes all grow up playing multiple sports. I feel like it's very uncommon to just play one sport your whole life, and if that's you, that's great, but I feel like you're really athletic when you can play a bunch of different sports. Not saying I was necessarily good at basketball or lacrosse, but I do think it has helped me in different ways, reaction time, being quick on my feet, being able to do different things that I've learned from other sports has definitely shaped me into the player I am today.
Well, it has been great talking to you. I appreciate your time. That's everything we have today. I'm Samantha O'Connor with SUTV News. It's back to you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the 3rd episode of Overtime. The game hit 0, but we're still on the clock. I guess that's time and a half. See you next time and have a wonderfully great night.